Hello everybody, Accureye here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talk Video. And in today's Talk Video, I thought we'd talk about frame data and some of the terminology of fighting games in case you are new to fighting games in general. Now, what do I mean by terminology? Well, there are certain terms that many of us use on fighting games that many of you who are just starting out are going to go like, what? I don't understand that. For instance, like QC, I think it's like QCP or quarter circle punch is like, for instance, Sakura's fireball. So if you say like QCP1, it means quarter circle, or is it like QCF? It might be QCF. But if you say like you want to be doing like a quarter circle, for instance, or half circle, it's going to be a QCF and then like +1. Now, what do I mean by +1, or what does that mean? Okay, so it's QCF. Yeah, it is QCF or F or HCF. For instance, these are common advertisements that you may hear, especially while playing, fighting games, and you're talking to somebody who is a FGC player, you may hear him say, oh, it's QCF +1. Now, you're probably thinking, what does that mean? Well, QCF +1 means quarter circle, forward +1. If you hear, like, for instance, QCF or QCB, then you're talking quarter circle back. So it's basically saying quarter circle to back. If you say like FF +1, it's forward +1, which is a dash move. And this is some of the advertisements. But what do I mean by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 in some cases. You're probably thinking, what does that mean? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the advertisement for of course fighting games in general. So, like for instance with Falk here, if you're seeing me do like 2 plus and then hold and release. 2 hold release means that I'm pressing 2, but I'm also holding 1 button to release thereon to fire off a shot, which is 2 hold release. Now, you're probably thinking, Accureye, I don't get that. What do you mean by 2 hold release? Well, 2 hold release just means that you can do this move while also doing that move. So, a lot of like the move sets have like certain cancels, and there are certain startup frames and everything like that, which I will try to explain later on. But for now, let's just get back to basic terminology, which is if you hear someone like say, oh, with Falk, if you want to do a combo release move, then basically you need to do like hold release. And you're probably thinking, I don't get what 2 hold release means. Well, 2 is the medium punch, and hold is just holding 1 button. If they say like hold 1 or free, then you hold 1 or free, and then you release 1 or free after you do the 2. So you hold 1, for instance, and then you press 2, hold, and then instead, because you're already holding it, you just release the button and you cancel into X move. And that's something that you'll see a lot from fighting games. So for instance, if you hear like, oh, to do this combo, it's 2 free and then like quarter circle, which is like the Hadouken, or QCF 1, and that's quarter circle Hadouken 1 +1, which is the punch button. But I mean, what do I mean by the punch button? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 6. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 relate to all the actions that you can do. 1 is usually light punch. 2 is usually medium punch. And for Street Fighter purposes, 3 is heavy punch. 4 is light kick. 5 is medium kick. And 6 is heavy kick. Now, in the terminology of Tekken, there's only 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1 relates to light punch. 2 relates to medium/heavy, and 3 is light kick. 4 is medium/heavy kick. So but again, we're not talking about the terminology for Tekken here. We're just talking about the slight terminology of Street Fighter. Now, of course, the terminology does not change. and when you look at it. For instance, like if you're looking at in and you see someone say, "Oh, it's in," and then forward 1, you're looking at neutral forward 1. So you move forward and then you do, like, for instance, left punch or light punch. And in the terminology of, like, Tekken, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all you need to know. 1 is left punch, 2 is right punch, 3 is left kick, 4 is right kick. So it's much more simple. But, it's just like when you hear things like, "Oh, it's BT and then forward 1 or BT 2, then it's back turn and plus 2. So, obviously there aren't many back turn moves that you all need to know about in Street Fighter, as Street Fighter doesn't really have a back turn character that I know of, for say. So most of the moves you'll want to learn are like quarter circle this, quarter circle that. Z, which is forward, back, diagonal, and then back, plus 1 is to do like that. And while I don't really remember the terminology in Street Fighter for the Z move or the you can kind of understand what I'm saying here. And I mean, that's pretty much how it works for all characters. And once you become proficient in knowing the frame, the startup, the frame, the hit radius, the cancel, and all that jazz, then you basically are gonna have an active, easy way of canceling into movesets. And you can look at the frame data. You can see all the little changes that you can make in of course the game. And with that being said, you can learn the cancels and all this stuff into it very, very easily, which is very, very good if you know all this stuff. Because I mean, let's face it. At the end of the day, knowing the terminology and knowing all the little things, can really make your gameplay much, much better. So I would highly recommend, looking into, learning these things, learning lessons and stuff, because obviously, obviously it can help you with, doing all the things that you want to learn. For instance, like one thing I will say is, like, for instance, if you're looking at training or anything like that, you'll want to look at something, for instance, like for instance, learning your learning to look at your opponents and stuff. Now, online is not going to be the best place to find all of these things, or not, should I say not online, but playing just online is not going to be the best way to learn all of the combos and stuff, because let's face it, at the end of the day, you're going to find that combos are best learned offline, where you can kind of have a controlled environment and kind of have a, figuring out what you need to do. Because again, if you, for instance, like, let's look at Falky and her frame data. For instance, if you're going against like someone like for instance, Guile, as they're in what I have here. If you're looking at like Guile, for instance, then here's the thing: is like for instance, if you're going into Guile and you're like, let's say, for instance, you decide that you want to use, I don't know, like, let's say you want to use Psycho Spitze against Guile, which has like a 14 frame setup. So against Guile, let's say, like, with Guile, it's kind of like, okay, you got 14 frames set up or start up. So you got 14 frames to start up your attack. Now, if the Guile is paying attention and he decides to do, for instance, a crouch HK, which has a 7-frame startup, then guess what? You're basically going to lose that chance of hitting people. So, there you go. You can see that, you will lose the battle, and Guile's going to get the hit over you. So, and that's pretty much how frame data works. It's going to help you understand or get you a understanding of, what's going on. And if you know the frames, you know the data and stuff, you'll be positive or negative. And most of the time you want to be positive when it comes to fighting in this game. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me. Hopefully this has helped you understand frame data a little bit more and helped you understand and get a little bit of a better idea for frames and whatnot. And thank you everyone for joining me on this video. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification because I know you want to know when my next video drops next. Thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Accureye. I am live on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure for about 4 to 5 hours. But lately I've also been live on Monday, Tuesday, and sometimes on Friday, sometimes on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday will always be a bonus stream of 2 to 3 hours. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday will be about a 4 to 5 hour stream. While Monday and Tuesday are going to be a 2 to 3 hour stream. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be 4 to 5 hour streams. And Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday are going to be 4 to 5 hour stream. And Friday and Sunday, sometimes I'll do a bonus stream, but sometimes I like to work on my art and stuff. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you, everybody, for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And, come join me live on Twitch and send me a follow if you want to follow me on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Accureye. But until the next one, everybody, thank you, everybody, for watching me, watching this video. And until the next one, everybody, this is Accureye signing out and saying farewell, everyone.